want to talk about the potential for portable mortgages. And for our audience, a portable mortgage, they actually do this in Canada, which is pretty wild. I didn't realize this. But up in Canada, let's say you have a 3% mortgage, you bought a $300,000 home, you've paid down $100,000, so you have $200,000 left on your mortgage. You can take that 3% $200,000 balance and move it to another property, buy up. Let's say you buy a $500,000 property at that point, $200,000 of that will be at the 3%, and then you get the prevailing interest rate for the remaining amount.
I have a question.
Pretty wild situation that can happen up there.
What happens to the first house?
Well, you have to have enough to realize to pay for that. You're going to have enough. I mean, you're going to have it would be no different than if you paid off that mortgage and you went and got another $200,000 mortgage over here, but you can use that same mortgage. So you still have to get enough out of there to pay that off.
So you're selling the first house, paying that off, keeping what you had as the remainder. So rate and balance and move it to a new property.
Yes. And I think in some instances they do a blended mortgage. So they'll blend the interest rates and you have to be able to port that mortgage. And
so you might have $200,000 that you had at the 3%, and then you have to get the balance of it at a current rate. I don't think
lenders even understand it.
Yeah.
I don't know many lenders that could understand this.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
How does that get paid down?
And you're still gonna, it's the same exact mortgage. Think about this.
A payment and then they say, this amount goes to this and that gets amortized the right way. And then this amount goes to that, amortized the new way.
It would be like having a first and a second. It would be having a first and a second, basically. Yeah.
It's pretty wild. Yeah.
And the house would still have to qualify. You know, the lender could still say that. The lender could still say, could still just determine they want to make sure they want to move it to that property. Yeah. So there's some.
It's kind of like an assumable loan. Like you have to qualify for an assumable loan. The loan has to be set up as an assumable.
Only difference is the loan would stay with the house with an assumable. The loan would stay with the actual person that took out the mortgage, so that it would stay with you.
It's a wild concept. And honestly, Paul, I see how you're looking and those cogs and those wheels are turning. That's what I did too. And I still don't know if I have it fully figured out how they maneuver that, but those are kind of next level thoughts. Like how do they actually blend that, or how do they release it from one asset and move it to the next with a full payoff?
How would you refinance? Would you refinance both to a new? Current.
Exactly. So I mean, there's those types of questions, but the premise is that you can move your current interest rate to a new asset. And that has been done and is being done today in Canada. Is that an option for the United States? Yes. I mean, the president's floated that, the administration's floated that as an option.
Is that just residential?
Good question. Because we're coming up on a debt wall. They call it a debt wall in the commercial field right now, where a lot of commercial properties are facing rising interest rates. When they bought back, when the interest rates were 3 and 3.5%, 4%, those balloons are coming due now. And so we're going to see a lot of commercial movement and I think a lot of foreclosures in the commercial arena, but we're going to see how that plays out. That's a whole nother topic we can get to. But what do you think, Shannon? Should portable mortgages be an option or something we consider here in America?
I think all of it should be options. I don't think that everything's right for everybody, but I think all of it should be options. I think every tool that we have available to people can be an asset if used properly. If you use it properly and the right people are using it, it's not going to be for everybody. I absolutely think the more tools they give us, the better we are.
And that's how you, and that's
because the ultimate goal is for Americans, for us to be buying real estate and growing wealth. That's the ultimate goal. And so any tools they can give us, I think don't hurt.
And that's what you feel about the 50-year and also the portable, because you had made the point before is like there's 3-in-1 arms, 5-in-1 arms, where people are like,
I was just going to sound smart and bring those up.
Yeah. Dang it. Paul, let me rewind that track. Go ahead. What else? What else is
there, Paul?
Yeah. No, you already said
what other options do we have?
Yeah.
I hear you got some ideas.
But the problem with that too, the 3-2-1, you got to buy that down. So you have upfront cost again.
I can tell you, I took out an arm years ago to buy an investment property. I paid $0 down. It was a 3-year arm. I walked in with nothing. I financed all my closing fees and everything into it. It raised it just a little bit, turned around, sold it. I want to say 2 years later. I think I made $25,000 off it. This was a little place in Aztec. And back then that was a huge growth. It was a great move. It cost me nothing. And the first thing I did after I bought it was put a renter in there that paid that mortgage the entire 2 years. All I did was fix an air conditioner and a couple of things around there for those 2 years, sold it, and had that money. That's why I'm saying if used right, they're very valuable.
Well, the arms aren't typically done much anymore.
No.
I was thinking more of the buy downs, the 3-2-1 buy downs.
Yeah,
we have, deferred interest for the first year. It goes up a little bit,
The idea would be that your income grows.
Yeah. So your income grows and then you're able to either refinance before it hits to the current mortgage, same thing as an ARM. So you're not paying as much, but currently everything that you have to get into without a strict down payment assistance program, which is hard to get into because you have to be, meet certain income criterias. You still have these huge payments at the outset of purchasing a home. I think that's the biggest barrier to affordability.
The affordability factor is pretty key.
Because all these tools are great if you can afford them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But you got to buy them first. Yeah. That's the problem.
And you have to use it properly. Because if not, you're just throwing your money away and you're setting yourself up for, a foreclosure and never buying anything for years or being saddled with debt forever.
If you are silly enough to go the full 50 years, you probably deserve it.
And I hope I'm not around to shake your hand at the end of the 50 years.
Man, that was a good 50 years.
That was a good 50 years.
I saved $200 every month.
That's right.
Paid in this instance
$700,000
$765,000 in interest on $240,000. I mean, literally, it's like almost like a credit card. I mean, if you racked it up and just paid like almost the minimum balance.
And that's what I'm saying. But a credit card can be very valuable in a pinch. If the credit card, if used for an emergency or used to advance you, I have a good deal here. I'm going to do this and I can pay it back. I have a plan for a 2-month plan or whatever. Just like a student loan, all of it is a good idea if used right.
Yeah.
All of it. None of them are bad tools. We just have a society that doesn't know how to manage their money. Not saying I do, just doesn't know how to manage their money properly and explodes in debt. And then they just want out of the debt.
Yeah.
That's not how to do it.
And that's the great argument for getting with the professionals that either know how to get you into these programs, get you out of these programs, or how to use them to the maximum benefit in your situation.
Because these things are complicated. I mean, you can look at a lot of different scenarios before making a decision. You want to make the right decision. So you need to seek professional guidance. You need to ask these questions. You need to rely on people that are doing this every day, day in and day out. I would never walk into my accountant and say, "Hey, those, I understand what you're doing here, and these numbers. Can you explain these numbers?" I would never say, you need to move those numbers over here and these numbers over there.
Yeah, I want to do it like that.
Yeah, please tell me what your thoughts are and
tell
what
me
rationale.
How to do it.
Yeah,
you're the expert.
And then I can pick from there, and we can make some good decisions.